everybody. This is Don with Back to the Basics. How you doing out there? So, I want to take a few minutes to talk about a couple things when it comes to our butcher season. And I was having a discussion a few months back with my sister, actually, who said something very interesting to me. And we were talking about what we're trying to represent with Back to the Basics. And the first thing that I think most people automatically want to associate that terminology with is like getting back to your roots, getting back to doing things old school, and that's true. We do want people to be able to do old school things and know how to do things old school ways. But we are obviously very technology driven. If we wouldn't even be doing our shows or our videos or our TikToks or Facebooks or lives or whatever if we didn't have the technology. So it's nobody that's doing any of this stuff, even your homesteaders and everything. And nobody's getting rid of the technology. Like we're holding on to it, obviously. But we do want to, help people learn how to do things if they don't know how to do them. Show them how we do things. It may not be the way you want to do them, or would rather not do them, whichever. So, but it's just how we like to do them. So, with that, we were talking about we butcher hogs in the spring. Actually, it's coming up in about 2-3 weeks, and I'm hoping. My sister had asked me. She goes, you can show me how to make the bacon. You can show me how to make the hams. You can show me how to cut all this stuff. She goes, how do I get the pig? Where do I get the pig? That's where do I get the hog at? And I'm like, that's probably the best question anybody has asked me to date. Like that, we have all kinds of knowledge on how to prepare stuff and make stuff, but how do you get the actual hog, or how do you get the beef or whatever? I mean, okay, so yeah, you see here the web page that's in front of you. I'm looking at like over here. You're kind of looking at it right here, at least But so we have I set this up to be more realistic to just pork, right? Because comparing apples to apples, I wanted to do like all pork, like a packet, and like their standard box is $159. It's always $159. It doesn't matter what you put in it, it's $159. And I think that's okay to a degree, but chicken legs do not cost as much as bacon per pound, right? So you got to look at what you're getting. Everything is pork here. And I actually doubled up on their pork shoulder roast, right? Because maybe you're in the shoulder roast, maybe you're not, whatever. We could have doubled up on bacon. It doesn't matter what we doubled up on. It's $159. Now, what I did double up on here with those shoulder roasts, it says the average here is 1.5 to 2 pounds. So I calculated on the heavy side. I said, okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll give them the full 2 pounds. So all this package you see here comes out to, I have everything pre-calculated, 12 pounds of meat. That's on that page. This is 12 pounds of meat. Okay, right. So you got 12 pounds of meat. If you had a family of 4, none of this, every one of these is a single meal, right? Like in my mind, this is 8 to 12 days worth of meals, probably at best. Maybe 15 if you don't, depending on what you do with those shoulder roasts, especially if you slow cook them, turn them some like pulled pork sandwiches or something like that, you might get a couple of days. So we're at 12 pounds of meat on this package. $159. That's $13.25 a pound is what you're paying. Now, comes to your door, it's already packaged. I know from what I understand, this is helping to take care of some farmers, local farmers or whatever. And I have no problem with that. And if you want to do this and it makes sense to you for your budget, your family, whatever, by all means, please do it because it's great, right? It comes already ready. Boom, there it is, right at your doorstep. And it's probably better than what you're going to buy in the grocery store, be honest with you. I mean, that's why it's $13.25 a pound. And I don't think there's any shipping costs from what I saw, and that's great. But now why do we do what we do? Besides the hunting and the fishing and that kind of thing, why do we choose to process our own hogs? And it's a couple reasons, right? Number one, No, I don't raise the hogs. So I don't know what their diet is. What I do know is that their diets are generally grain fed. So generally speaking, um, on average, it's been about $400 for a hog, whole hog, right? That's um, don't even think about the weight or whatever at the beginning. It's a whole hog. Now it could be 325 pounds, it could be 350 pounds, and yes, your price does vary on the weight, but we get pretty average hogs, So we've had everywhere from about 360 to 420 in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. Um, and your general yield of meat is like 120 to 150 pounds of meat, usable meat off a hog. And depends on the size of the hog, depends on what you process and how you process it. 120 to 130, 140, 150 pounds. So I'm going to call it 130 pounds of meat. And average hog, $400, right? And then now there's a cost for processing. Don't care who does it, there's a cost. So on average, I will say I spend $200 a year. So that's for processing the hogs. So now you're at $500 a hog. So I'm gonna bring up my calculator again here. So we knew $13.25 per pound if you buy it from the company that I showed you, already packaged at your door, ready to rock and roll. Okay, so for us, if we look at, we got $500 that we're putting out of our pocket for processing the hog, but we know we're going to get at least 130 pounds. You're just under $4 a pound. Now that could vary. You could probably go high end to say $5 a pound, depending on what you do. And you probably can maybe even push it down to, what am I going through? Puberty? Holy crap. So, you could get this all the way down to $3.25 a pound. Maybe with if you add the scrapple that you're putting in there. But again, the materials, salt, pepper, things that, you got to take into account for. And the other thing that people, I know immediately will say well, what about my time, process time? Because I'm one of those people. I'm always how much is it costing me per hour to do anything? So, and the truth is, if I'm willing to go out and hunt or go fishing to put meat in my freezer or on the table, I don't ask how much I'm getting paid, or I'm paying myself essentially to go hunting. I hunt because I enjoy hunting, number one, or actually more number two. Number one is this instinctual idea of putting food in the refrigerator. You gotta look in the freezer. How much money are you actually saving versus how much of your time is it worth? And if you just start to learn to enjoy doing it. So, and and if you look at the market prices, I think average. I looked not that long ago. I did an average. Because you can't really do one thing, like I said, $159 for all that stuff. And I said earlier there was chicken in there. So chicken's cheaper than pork, generally speaking, depending on what it is. But bacon's what? Depending on where you're at, anywhere from the variance that I'm hearing is anywhere from $7, $8 to $12, $13 a pound, right? So obviously it's not $3.84, but then again, sausage is cheaper than bacon per pound. So, kind of got to do one of these, something or whatever. So we do an average cost. So, when I'm thinking about all this, I don't think about the amount. I mean, it takes some time, right? It does take time. But it's worth it in the end. Number one, what your product is. Who handled it, how it was handled. You see it before it gets packaged, So if it's not done correctly, it's on you. It's giving you some kind of skill or ability. If somebody hands you, here's a front shoulder from a hog, or a front shoulder from a deer, or a front shoulder from a beef, or a front shoulder from anything. It doesn't matter. And you kind of oh, well, that's this or that's that. It's meat. I can process it. Even if I cut it off the bone and send it through a grinder, I can still at least do that. So yeah, so how do you get the end question here is how do you get that hog? How do you get the hog? So a couple different things you can do. One, ask around. If you work in a factory kind of job, excuse me, um, generally somebody in there is related to farmers somewhere, and somebody does butchering. You just listen, you'll hear, they'll be talking about it. Just got to ask somebody. Maybe you can get in. I'll tell you, around here, especially, like once you're in, you're usually in. You're good. But sometimes it's real hard to get in. Like, it's kind of like close family. Other thing you could do is go down to your local butcher shop and ask for a market hog. You could get a roaster hog or a market hog. It doesn't really matter. Roaster hog is just younger usually. That's but you get a market hog. They may or may not ask you if you want the head on it. They may or may not ask you if you want the heart, kidneys. That depends on what you're doing. It's an option. Generally, you'll still see it's cheaper than by the pound that way. But if you wanted it more fresh, like you want to be part of the activities, you want to be part of the whole, you know, start, stop, finish line kind of thing, ask around, so it's an experience. It really is. It's an experience. And I do enjoy doing it. So, but I hope you enjoyed this information. I don't know if it's helpful for anybody. Like ultimately, you waited for me to tell you ask around. So that's not really. I know what everybody's looking for. Like ask around. I don't know. Like how do you get from here to there? Just ask somebody. Trying to get the hog is the most probably like the biggest thing. Getting in with a group to where you can fit in. With that, if you have any questions, send it to us in the comments there, or well, I guess that's about it. You can actually message me. I mean, I guess if we're friends, so this will probably be on TikTok. So if we're friends, I think you can message if we're friends. Leave us a comment if you liked everything. Follow us, please follow us. I really like to get up over that 1,000 mark. So we appreciate everybody. We enjoy doing these videos, sorta. I'm either on for the camera or I'm not, and I'm just a lot of times I'm not. I don't want to. So anyway, like I said, give us a follow, please, please, please. We would appreciate it. Hope everybody's healthy out there. There's been so much COVID around us. I mean, I've been in the house for the last 2 weeks. 3 people in the house with COVID. It's just been crazy. And no, I'm not happy. Excuse me. I had them isolate for a couple of days in their rooms. After that, I was like, I don't care. You know what? We're either all getting it or we're not. So it doesn't matter. But we hope you're healthy. We hope everybody in your family and everybody where you are is doing very, very well. We wish nothing but greatness for you in this coming year. Just hang in there. Send a prayer to the man upstairs. We're big God believing, Bible believing people, and we really just hope and pray that everybody's doing well. So again, give us a thumbs up, give us a like. Maybe we'll make some more videos this year. We actually have some videos already planned on coming out soon. So thank you all again. Take care.